Got an article here from Americans for Tax Reform. Trey, I don't know if you had a chance to read this yet. Watchdog finds billions in possible fraudulent Obamacare payments. Yes, that's billions with a B. Like B as in boy, B as in badass, B as in what else, Trey?
Barack.
You're listening to The Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey from We Are America Radio, Red State Talk Radio, Buzz Radio Network. Wanted to thank you for joining us on the battlefield, and we have a bunch of things to fight out today, including got an article here from Americans for Tax Reform. Trey, I don't know if you had a chance to read this yet. Watchdog finds billions in possible fraudulent Obamacare payments. Yes, that's billions with a B. Like B as in boy, B as in badass, B as in what else, Trey?
Barack.
$999 million fraud for the fact that it took them $1 billion to build a freaking website? I mean, I built websites.
That's really true, dude. I wish, just for the sake of your and my radio career, you would have put in a bid to build the country's Obamacare website. And because, I wouldn't even ask for a whole lot. I just asked for like $50 million until I straighten up.
Look, I would have asked for $1 million at fastvirtual.com.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just a little bit, just $1 million. I could have built that website, folks. I could have built that website for $1 million, and it took them $1 billion to build it. So you got to tell me there's no fraud involved in that. I mean, I remember the days when the Democrats were making fun of the $250 toilet seat back in the 80s when Reagan was in the House.
$1,000 hammers.
Yeah. So now it costs you $25 for a Band-Aid to go to the hospital because of Obamacare. So anyway, this article reads, the federal government has failed to properly monitor enrollee eligibility for Obamacare, according to a report by the GAO, or the Government Accountability Office. As a result, the government has made billions of dollars in Obamacare subsidy payments to individuals that may have been committing fraud. Who figures? I mean, you figure if you're going to spend $1 billion on a website, hey, just kind of take maybe $1 million on the side, get a couple people to keep an eye on the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, have somebody watch it, right? I mean, look at the website. I was surprised the other night when you were telling me about all the backdoor features to see where people are on the website and when they're at on the website. So it's like, man, surely you can work somewhere within that $1 billion. You can work a few safeguards in there, right?
So there's a quote here. It says, when the government wastes money, it is wasting our money. It's cutting our pay. It is damaging our lives, says Grover Norquist. We gotta love Grover Norquist. President of America's
Grover Norquist, did you hear what's happening with him and the NRA?
Yeah, I did.
Dude, he sits on the board of directors currently for the NRA, and the NRA has actually got enough gumption, shall we say, they're putting it to a vote of the membership to see about having him removed off of the recall from the board of directors.
Well, you know why, huh?
Well, yeah, he's got some real suspicious ties with some Muslim front groups, right?
That's right. He has actually got ties with
a couple of
Muslim
co-conspirators.
Brotherhood. Yeah, the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yeah,
the
a couple of
terrorism.
co-conspiracy groups.
Yeah, I wonder if we ever did a post on Grover.
I don't know, but I mean that guy. Listen, I actually read one time. It may have been from you. I don't know. Where they were talking about how Grover Norquist is actually responsible for this, for the problem that the Republican Party is in, because he went out there with his no raising of taxes pledge and made all these politicians so that when quote unquote revenue was necessary, then the issue of taxes was kind of taken off the table because you couldn't really argue for or against taxes because of him. Right.
So actually, I got some audio from Grover Norquist. You ready for this? Check this out.
All right.
Hello, everybody! It is I, your old pal, Super Grover! And that was me, too, only I was very
that was funny that you played that because I was getting ready to ask you to play some Super Grover things. Me having a 2-year-old, she she might not know who Grover Norquist was, but if I told her we're going to listen to Super Grover, this would be what she'd be expecting.
Super Grover? I mean, you don't think she'd be very interested in tax reform in conversations?
Yeah, I don't think. Although I mean, she's kind of interested in a lot of things for being too, but yeah, tax reform not one of those.
Not one of them. So, what do you think about the election last night over in Nevada?
I really wasn't paying attention to it very much. Not really following it anymore. I'm pretty much disheartened and pretty much have given up on the American people. Matter of fact,
you're not going to the South Pole, are you?
I'm planning on moving to Antarctica for the simple fact that it's the only place on Earth that may not be free, but it also is void of stupidity.
Well, it definitely is void of a whole lot of stuff there.
It's void of a whole. I mean, listen,
including
all
heat.
joking aside, Chris, I really am. I'm in a really dark place right now with this whole process because I mean, as much as I feel like I understand, I get it. I get the anger. I get the frustration. I get the lack of trust in politicians. It still is. It blows me away. I told you about the quote that I saw somebody put on Facebook earlier today, and it really kind of summarized just the way that I feel. The more and more that our politics becomes less about ideas, and it just becomes more about like chum to a group of people who can whip up the most people into this state of frenzied, just illogical, frenzied chaos, Yeah. And maybe I'm just naive. Maybe that's how it's always been.
Well,
but we clowned the Obama supporters because they like, I mean, how could these idiots believe he's not saying anything. He's just saying hope and change and hope. And you're an idiot if you believe that.
Yeah, because there was nothing behind it. It was all just platitudes.
And people were like, yeah, that's a good point. We got to try to reach these stupid Democrats and try to get enough of them to pull their heads out the proverbial sand or other orifices of their own body. And here we are now having to do that to people who were with us in the head removal business.
Well, what's amazing to me, it's like, to me when I'm talking to on the internet, on Facebook and so forth, and I'm posting things, I guess the best analogy that I can explain my feeling when I'm dealing with, Trump supporters is that when a Trump supporter comes out and says something, it's kind of like them farting in an elevator with me. I look at him, I'm like, really? Did you really just say that? You know what I'm saying?
Right? Like, come on, man. We gotta go to 12 floors.
I know, man. You could have at least waited till after the election to say something stupid.
You couldn't wait like 30 seconds before you blew? I mean, God, come on. And it's hard to type with that tone, right?
Yes.
But like the other side to it is like, I'm trying to figure out how to type to where this tone is made like you get the feeling of it like, okay, now listen, Johnny. Now I want you to sit down and fold your hands. And I want you to get just a little bit of self-control. Now, I know you can do it. I know. Listen, don't. It's okay. I'm not yelling at you. It's like,
there's a safe space.
How you have to talk to these people?
I know they need safe spaces, dude. I mean, I don't know.
That farting in the elevator example is probably the best. Like, like,
did you really?
Really? Like, you couldn't wait just we're on the third floor. You only got to go to the 6th floor.
Yeah, it's like you're in the freaking cargo elevator having a tea party, and you look over, and there's like 15 people in there, and they're all farting at the same time.
Oh man, that's good. That's a great analogy. That is exactly.
Oh.
And see, that's. And then it's like it's in your mouth, and like you start to gag.
Hey, you're doing that ventriloquist thing again.
Yeah, well. Anyway,
I mean, you're really good at that.
Well, thank you. Okay, is this better? Hold on. Okay, there we do that, and then we come back to here like that. Okay, so is that better?
That's much better because that picture was rough.
So the whole, I'm really. It's a dark time for me personally.
It
really
froze
is.
again, dude. It froze again. Are you
Well,
taking your shirt off or
transferred-
something over there?
I